And welcome back to more Sonic Colors for the Nintendo DS. Last time we got most of the red star rings and the S ranks and Tropical Resort, but this naughty little mission took forever to beat, so didn't quite get to it. Okay, so we're just gonna keep doing that from this point on. So right now I'm gonna do what I was doing before. I'm just realizing I made a goof. I didn't set up my death counter, gosh darn it.
Nice. You know, I guess while you're doing this, I might as well leave Sonic Adventure 2 up in the background.
Might as well, I guess. Oh, there's the star ring. Okay, so now I just need to finish the mission.
You already know what I'm doing.
Nice face?
No, I'm not gonna play the game.
Oh.
You're gonna have to get that red ring again.
Yeah, I know. Since I have the opportunity to, I'm just gonna...
Keyblade!
Oh, well, that's Keyblade. Yeah, I'm just setting the death sounds.
And
my death counter crashed.
Nice! Also, it's because of...
Keyblade crashed it.
It's the Chow stuff, so I told you that. What the... Discord, that was rude. It like turned off your stream for me for a half second. Like as if like I clicked to stop watching. Very rude. Also, you missed the red ring.
I did. Okay. I'm keeping track of these in my head for now, so... I'm gonna have to reset. Well, whatever.
One.
The low enough number. For now. Okay, got it again.
Yay, he homing attacked that section this time.
Only attacks are slow, but it gets you on the fast path, so it's actually fast. It's confusing. Oh, for the... Come on!
Just go like a lower section.
Screw you!
Hey, there was the last ring, too. Also, I noticed you got a background change.
Yes, I
so
did.
Now
I
was
was going to mention
awkwardly
that.
Stretched.
Yeah, it's I didn't even stretch it that much.
I'm not going to get that red ring.
I don't know how many deaths I've had anymore. Because of that.
That's the third.
It's way more than 3. I stopped counting at 7.
Well, that's the third since you said that you were going to count. So, yeah, I've lost count then. Whatever. You can just do it in post.
I'm not doing it in post. Screw that. I don't even have time to do it in post. The video goes up the day after tomorrow.
Well, no. Like, you not post-record it. Like, you would just, like, watch over the video and then, kind of like what I had to do with that battle block video that I forgot to get the stats on. Oh, please. Oh, there we go. Just put... You said 7, so just go with 7.
Okay, there you go, that's 7.
Also, now change your background to the Sweet Mountain Hub World now.
I only have Tropical Resort, so deal with it.
Dang. You should have went
Unless you want me to go back to the old one. Because I still have it open.
No, nope, I'm good. No, this is better. The old one
I meant to actually do that last part, but it's...
I really didn't like the old one, just because it was just stretched awkwardly. But that's just because there was no better images. Like, we looked.
Yeah, no, like, there really wasn't. Like, nobody had anything out there on the DS version of the game. It was all for the Wii.
It's very bizarre to me, because I know, like, it makes sense that they would talk more about, oh, well, there's both the red rings. Not that hard. But it's not like it's not like I've heard people just not talk about this version of the game.
Like, people still talk about it.
Yeah. So it is very weird to me.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do it again anyway.
Nice, it's cut off.
Yeah, well, too bad it's staying cut off.
The second one was at like the corner near the end.
Yeah,
It's like at this corner, I think.
yeah, around here.
Actually, it might have been a bit more forward.
No, it's right here.
Oh no, okay, it was this corner.
See, this is why we jump around.
There's some enemies over here.
Okay,
And now you have both the red rings, so you don't have to care about them anymore. Are you doing the missions first just to get them out of the way?
no, it's just the one that the menu started on, so that's the one I started with.
Oh, it's probably... Okay. So I know burst counts as like a screen nuke, but is it like just on the top screen, or is it like an area? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure.
There's an enemy
That was
above
right
you.
there! Gosh darn it! This ends up being like minus 2 or 3 seconds. I'm gonna be mad. Okay, nah, it's fine.
Nice.
That one wasn't too bad. Yeah, I think you're right. I should probably just focus on the missions. If the last part was anything to go by.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, I feel like the missions are probably gonna be harder, especially because this if you remember this I think it was this mission in particular that you struggled on.
Yep, that's the one. I recognize the balloon. Okay, I know where this one is too. This was a dumb one because the ring was really far in.
If I remember correctly, the red ring is on there's like a section where you have to descend slowly. Like
yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would normally already have all the wisps. So I have to intentionally waste time not killing enemies in order to get here. I hope there's enough enemies after this.
I honestly thought you were just gonna die there. Oh, there's enemies behind on the lower section.
Yeah, there's 2 down there.
Okay,
I'm gonna say about 8 here.
I think it was 7. I could be wrong.
Let's just say somewhere from 6 to 8.
So then, by process of elimination, we'll go with 7. Oh, it did screen nuke it on the top screen, I think.
It did. Is this coming back?
Probably have to go off screen. Yeah. Okay, if it's not 8, then we'll know that my answer was correct. I'll say it was 7.
Look how tight the timer is. Oh, well. Okay, there's enough just down there.
More than what we were thinking.
Well, it's terrible rank.
I wonder.
Whatever, I just wanted the ring.
I wonder if this is one of those missions that's gonna be like you want to get as many enemies before that section, or maybe there's 25 like.
Definitely, because I know there is. That's how we did it the first time.
Oh, okay. So I guess you'll just have to like trail around this entire level and stuff.
Nope.
One capsule.
Yeah, I was too low. Yes, I know. It's cut off again. The curse of the hundreds.
I mean, this is why I've just put mine like decently far to the left to kind of make up for that. Black hole wisp.
Yeah, I
You
see
didn't have
that.
this at this time.
I didn't. It's probably actually better. Back
That's
there, like,
void.
here it's awful, but I mean, I've already lost anyway because I'm too far in.
I wonder if you could use the void wisp to just hit the hot dog, and maybe the hot dog will trigger the mouth opening sequence.
Maybe it will. No, it was.
Or burst too, because that also pushes you up in the air. Like you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Basically, I'm saying floating upwards to hit the trigger as opposed to slowly descending to bounce on the trigger. I don't know if it'll work. I'm just assuming it might work.
I believe that there's a chance it'll work, and that's good enough for me for now. Or I'll just get animation
And he
canceled.
still grabs you. Well, it's whatever. At least right now you have a lot of time compared to the other times you've been here. Maybe it'll be good enough. Maybe. And all the enemies in the bottom area should be enough, as we've established.
Yeah, I had 26, I had 25 that time. Your
Interesting.
theory still might be right. Maybe I just need to hit the hot dog.
Yeah, maybe you just went too far to the right.
So I didn't really have time to adjust my height. To me. It's so scary doing those wall jumps and you can't see what you're doing.
I mean, you're just scared in general.
I am scared, how'd you know?
Because your name is Mayonnaise, Doctor.
Well, there goes that theory.
Oh. Did you hit it from the top side?
I did.
Okay. I couldn't see because you lagged out for a second. More specifically, the video feed did because I heard your voice. Which sometimes happens. I don't know why. Maybe you should just use the Void Wisp on the top route. Like, you should go down here, maybe. There's an area to the left of this.
Yeah, there is. We've been over this. It's blocked off.
You're the... You should be able to destroy it with
It's
the...
blocked off.
Oh, okay. It's blocked off like that. Alright, alright. I forgot. Maybe a good strat would be...
Used prematurely.
Using this Burst Wisp to backtrack. Because you could go through that thing, and then you go up to
Like
this
that.
Void Wisp section,
Oh,
and then
well,
you use
yeah,
the
but
Void
that's screwing
Wisp
up.
to suck up everything. Maybe try it like that. Oh, that was an interesting death.
Yeah.
That was a very classic Sonic. I think you should try that out. So what you would do is you'd get everything here, and then you'd go down the bottom path first. Then you go all the way to the right, kill all these enemies here, then kill these enemies, and then burst to the Void Wisp section. It's gonna be hard, but you know.
Yeah, no, that spring makes it really hard.
I think it's worth trying, if not just to see how many enemies you get. Compared to, like, rushing to the way end or something, you know? I feel like it'd be worth at least testing in that regard.
Wait for this to run out. Would you stop homing attacking? Ugh.
Then you use the Void Wisp, like, right here. You probably should have used it there. I don't know. Maybe it's better? I don't know. Never mind, you don't really go fast with this thing.
I don't know.
That might give you just enough wisps if you get literally everything before that section. I think that'll be slightly enough, but definitely don't use the Void Wisp at all. It's kind of a red herring. Wait, why did you reset?
Because I grabbed the Void Wisp.
Oh, you can still grab it. Like, you would have overrode it with the burst. Also, I saw a Wisp capsule you missed, so let's see if that'll matter in the grand scheme of things.
There's one. No, there's one back there.
It's fine to take a slow amount of time here just to see how accurate this theory is.
It isn't very. Like, I'm getting more, but I'm not getting anywhere near
Well, you
enough.
missed it. You also did miss a ton of stuff. There is
Name
that.
one! I don't know which one I missed.
You missed, like, literally 3 capsule/enemies.
You're gonna have to be more descriptive, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Me describing it would not help, trust me. Because everything looks the same.
Does.
So then there's that Wisp capsule. Okay, you grabbed it that time. You missed 2 enemies.
I only saw one. Not that it'll matter, because I should screen nuke him.
There is, I guess, that capsule too. Yeah, see, there's that enemy. There's 2 there. You can't go backwards though. No, but I guess there really isn't enough.
Dig up the
then.
speedrun
Yep.
video.
I have a feeling they might just rush to this ending spot and then just like. I'm going to, but if I had to guess, that's probably what they do. Let's see.
Probably.
Um,
I'm gonna run out of time.
How to S rank Sweet Mountain Mission 2. There's a video on it. That's funny. It was uploaded in 2011, so like when the game came out. Okay, so they actually use the Void Wisp at the top section. They basically use the Void Wisp in the top section, then they get grabbed, and they go through the entire top section, ignoring the entire bottom section. Then they get grabbed by the hot dog dude and go down and, So they use the Void Wisp through this entire section. Specifically as soon as they get the Void Wisp itself. Because by the time they're here, it's essentially like maxed out, you know, maximum size. And then what do they do at the way end? Let me check. I think they just kill the enemies, like, not the bottom. No, they immediately stomp down. So as soon as the cliff ends here, they stomp and, like, they essentially do that. But they stomp, like, immediately.
That was still only good enough for a B.
They do some crazy stuff at the to make sure this beginning section is fast, but I'm not even going to start explaining what they do.
I think one of the worst parts of this mission is literally right here. I cannot platform at all. Oh, you said that here. Right.
Yeah, then they would void immediately. They'd hug the air, then they would touch the bottom. Yeah, and then they would go up. And your stream, of course, lagged out on me for a second there. I can see it now, but it's very weird because like the stream is lagging out, but I hear the game audio, I hear you. It's like, I don't get it.
How much you want to bet it's 30 seconds?
It's probably 30 seconds. This person did it in 34 seconds, by the way, and it looked rather flawless.
Oh, that's always terrifying.
And according to the comments, this person says this is the hardest mission to S rank on.
Well, considering the nightmare we had to deal with back in Tropical Resort, we'll see if it lives up to the hype. Eventually. Ow. Whatever,
I'm here, sorry, I'm just typing to someone.
I think it might actually be worth waiting that opening cinematic out because it changes the position of the blocks.
So the cycles.
So the cycle I don't have to wait on.
I see what you mean.
It's like every time I skipped it, they would always be in a position where I have to wait.
Okay. Skeleton. By the time they get tossed in the air, let's see what their timer's at. It's at about 51 seconds.
I was around 49. I think either 48 or 49.
I think it was like very high, 38. 48, not 38, sorry.
It was short one.
Yeah, at least this person in the video that they did, they stomp as soon as that ground disappears.
I'm missing a wisp. Usually I have 20 here. I don't know which one I missed.
I think it's because when you use the Void Wisp, when it gets to that like vertical shaft section, like right before this, usually you what's it called? They hug the ground. That you start floating up prematurely. Because there's a wisp capsule that the Void Wisp grabs. It might be worth skipping this wisp capsule right there that you just grabbed and grabbing the one above instead after the jump, potentially. Like they kind of hug this lower section here. Yeah, because there's a wisp capsule that you just barely missed.
I have not seen that capsule once, and
but apparently you have more wisps now, so I'm confused.
Yeah, I have 21 as opposed to 19. I don't
Despite the fact that I did see you actually miss one, so that is interesting.
Oh, that was higher than 30.
If it's 30 seconds, then please be 30
It's
seconds.
not.
Oh, come on.
It's 31.
It's either 31 seconds or it's some stupid millisecond.
I could kind of see maybe being like 30, 50.
Or maybe it's the score slightly has to do with something. Yeah, you got that wisp capsule that I kept mentioning that time. Yeah,
I missed 3 that time, so forget it.
It's really weird because I think in the video they use the Void Wisp at that point to go get those 3 enemies, and it's not really a problem. Then again, they have way more time than you.
I don't feel like I'm doing that bad.
Oh, they get grabbed when there's like 53 seconds remaining, not 50. When I said 50 seconds or whatever, that was like literally the moment they got grabbed.
For some reason, it just doesn't let me grab these enemies.
It's because the timer's technically out. It's technically gone. But it takes a second for you to lose the wisp transformation.
Ugh. This part is going back to being the pain. Ugh. It's awful.
It's crazy because this person who did this video had 23 wisps. By the time they get to that hot dog machine, so
Oh, come on! I think I might have hit at the minus by accident, so I'm adding another. Just gonna start skipping that one to start. It is wasting too much time. There's a bunch at the end.
Ah, you missed one, but you'll survive. The fastest you've made it here so far.
Unsurprising, considering I skipped one of the slowest wisps.
I thought you said that was kind of surprising. I think you said unsurprising.
It was 31.
That's faster. Literally 31 on the dot.
That's still not good enough.
Wow.
This one is...
Let me see what score. Let me see what score this person even gets by the way end. I'm curious. They get 20,000. I think that's the score you might have to hit. They have 20,710. Granted, I don't know what constitutes as a score in this game, so, you know, that really doesn't help. Because it's not like they bother catching rings in this section, I don't think. Let me check just to be sure. Pretty sure they just don't care, though.
$140. I sincerely doubt that's going to make a difference, and it doesn't.
They do not care. Yeah, they don't care about the rings in that section. So how's your day been? Why did you destroy that one enemy?
I don't know. I wish I did, because I couldn't use that.
Maybe it's because it hit the center of your Void Wisp. Maybe that's just the hip. And maybe that's
why wasn't that high enough?
Sonic. Who knows? But maybe it's because that's where Sonic's hitbox is, technically. And maybe he's like secretly just like there, but invincible.
Oh, well, I got one of them.
That's because you had slightly enough void left.
Why? This ring is broken and I don't like it.
You destroyed 2 there.
I don't know what's going on. I didn't have enough. I only had 18. Need at least 19 if I'm gonna keep going.
No, you don't. You finished with 18 in that section before.
Yeah, and I had to do extra work later. It's not worth it.
They didn't. You just did the lower section. That was when we were trying to test the theory of how many enemies were there.
I'll see if your theory's true.
That's when you got all the enemies in the lower section. If it doesn't work this time around, then I don't know why it didn't, because you did have 18.
Slower.
Yeah, see?
It was enough, but it's slower.
Yeah, so you need at least 18 before you hit that section. Obviously, the more the better, but, you know, it's like, if you miss it, whatever, just keep going. Unless you don't have 18. Obviously.
Ah!
What? I thought I saw you homing at that.
I did. I hit the button for it.
I swear I saw the animation. Maybe it was the air dash animation. But you had boost. I don't know.
This game just doesn't like me sometimes. I was singing its praises earlier, now it's like, oh, you fool.
I really don't understand the hitbox thing. You don't have 18. I think you're gonna have to do slightly extra work now.
I do too, unfortunately. And it's still faster than anything I've had before. I'd run back for the extra, but yeah. That would have been fastest if not for that.
Jesus.
Again. I don't know what it is with all the mission 2s just being the worst.
I don't understand why this one in particular is as strict as it is.
Like, it shouldn't be that hard, but it is. Oh, I sucked one up.
If you barely had enough time to suck one up. Yeah, like, by the time this dude left this section, I think he had like 115 rings, but I really don't think the rings matter.
I can't imagine they do. Oh, come on!
Are you kidding? I can see the score slightly. It's gonna be like 33 seconds. I think it's legit 33 seconds, because somebody in the comments said they finished it with 33 seconds remaining. So I guess we'll just say that's the sweet spot. Still don't understand how you hit that enemy.
I don't either, but I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth over this.
Yeah, I'm just confused on why you occasionally hit it. Maybe you could hit, I don't know, this is literal frames being saved. But maybe you should hit the what's it called? The hot dog more on the right side. Maybe it'll bounce you closer to the mouth, and you'll save like a few frames.
Yeah,
therefore,
but in theory, gonna fall longer.
True.
And the falling is so slow, I don't feel like it's gonna make up anything.
Let me see where this guy in the video hits it. Nah, he hits it very, very rightmost, actually, like a little past the middle point of that hot dog. This is horrible. I don't like this.
I don't either. This is, again, like, I don't know what the Mission 2 curse of this stage is, but it's abysmal. Ugh.
He also stomps immediately, for the record, on the you didn't stomp fast enough, but he like stomps like.
I want you to know, like, for all of these, I have literally been mashing jump into down. So like they're literally doing something frame perfect there.
The perfect frame. I think this is one of the slower times you got here.
I don't know what I'm doing different.
I really don't either. Yeah, they basically did it like that. Except they didn't even do it that clean. You actually did it cleaner than that.
And it still wasn't good enough. That's actually one of my lower scores, too.
Life is suffering, and suffering is magic. It's horrible. So I want you to know, by the way, I'm looking at these SA2 mods. Someone was very much nice enough to make a fixed SFX volume mod.
That was nice of him.
Because for all of you guys who don't know, literally every... Okay, they weren't that far to the right. They were like slightly, like basically in the middle. But
You said pixel perfect!
For people that don't know, SA2 is notorious for having some really bad sound mixing. It's even worse in Battle for the GameCube, but it's even more worse somehow in the re-releases they did.
You're right, but at the same time, like, who would be watching a video on Sonic Colors DS of all games that doesn't know about Sonic Adventure 2 Battle?
I don't know. I don't think you have enough of these. You're at 17 as opposed to 18.
I also have less rings than usual.
I don't know if the rings will matter, because again, this person does not care about the rings. Like, they don't go out of their way for those rings.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sucks too, because basically as soon as they stomp down to get those enemies, they essentially have enough, like, what's it called? Of the wisps that they don't... Because they actually do get that first one, and they get the second one. They do it really fast, though, and I'm not even going to, like, take the time to explain it. And they obviously get all three of these enemies. You're going to have 17 again, saying, yeah, that's a thought. It's starting to make me wonder if it might actually be worth waiting for your Void Wisp to disappear so you can get those three enemies with the dash. Maybe you should start trying that. And we'll, like, compare the time differences, because maybe this, like, the second here that you have to, you know, kill these extra enemies, I don't know, might be a second too much, or 2 seconds too much, or it's just that precise, where we have to start thinking of, like, what could work as little of a time save, you know what I mean? Potentially.
I get it.
So, yeah, you might need to do that. Well, I mean, you can probably position yourself, like, a little better with the Void Wisp. You don't have to be all the way to the left of those three enemies that you charge into. You also don't need to collect these rings. You really don't. I'm trusting the fact that this guy is not. What was that? Okay. I was looking at that time. I couldn't tell if it was a 32 or a 33. I thought you finally got it. I cannot see an S rank being worse than this. This is way too precise.
Honestly, the Tropical Resort one was really bad too, so I just don't know.
It was, but that one definitely was not as, like, ludicrously precise as this. Why do you go to the top left corner like that?
Because it defaults that direction, and once you run out, you cannot control the void at all. Like, it just takes control away from you.
Okay. I didn't know if that was, like, a conscious decision you're making, because I'm like, this is a lot of time you're wasting. Or not time, but, like, it's bad for positioning. It's wasting... So it's, like, wasting more time, kind of, but at the same time, you're gaining the time back for the fact that you don't have to kill all the enemies at the bottom.
I just don't know if it's gaining enough back.
I still find it crazy how the person that did the how to S rank this mission managed to get not only the first, what's it called? The first Wisp. You know, the one that you started skipping eventually? Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see you losing control there. But yeah, they skipped they skip the first, or they get the first wisp and the one right after that first spring, like the one in the air. It's crazy. That's your best time yet, I think.
Yeah,
come
high
on!
score too. Like if it's 20,000 for the score, then that was the best so far. Ugh.
This is stupid. This is this. Whoever made this, Dimps, you're stupid. God,
To be fair, they were clearly overworked at this point. But yes, I agree.
This is infuriating.
You're not even the one doing it and you're getting mad.
Yeah, because I can see the precision needed for this. This is stupid. Like, it's... I'm getting infuriated watching it just because I know the precision you need to do this. There could be some, like, other thing you could possibly be doing, because this dude makes it so he, like I said, he keeps his Void Wisp until, like, he gets those 3 enemies that are in the air. I don't know what he's doing to be able to have slightly enough power to do that.
Oh, blue.
Because, like, by the time he reaches, like, essentially the spikes, you know? Mm-hmm. He still has 2 bars left, and he sucks in 2 enemies, and then you lose control of the Void Wisp, like you said. But it pushes him far enough to... what's it called? It pushes him far enough to get that 3rd Wisp. And if you're curious on how many rings he has by the time... he gets to the way end. It's 115. Like, that is the max amount of rings he has. So, yeah. I just wanted to more or less tell you that doubly so in case you're really concerned about your ring count. At that point, he stops caring.
I don't care necessarily too much about the count. It's just... I see the points gauge getting closer and closer. But I do think the rings are contributing at least a little bit.
So I'm going to try to do my best to explain how he does this vocally, this mission. First of all, he lets the first cutscene play, right? I had to play this at 25 speed because the beginning is that fast. So what he does is, and don't mimic this. I'm just telling you what he does because this will require perfect execution. He does a boost, right? Then he jumps. And he basically is able to jump onto that first moving platform perfectly. Then he immediately jumps, does an air dash to the left to land on the second moving platform, jumps to the left side of the third moving platform, holds right to boost, right? To boost, jump, to boost, land on the ground, then jump into the first capsule. Then he hits the right wall, turns to the left, holds the boost button, makes it so he can hit the spring barely high enough so that he is able to land onto the upper platform, and then he holds the left button, he skids on the ground for a second, jumps in the air, boosts to the left, immediately does a stomp right after hitting it, turns to the right, immediately boosts, and that's how he gets those 2 capsules at the beginning.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. At some point, it just started sounding like witchcraft conspiracy theories. Like, I had 0 clue what was going on.
I had to play that at 0.25 speed, and I had to pause and go back just to be sure that I was, like, saying the correct, like, things correctly. It
sounds absurd.
And he does it with, like, 34 seconds remaining. It is absurdity. This is bull. I hate this. This is pissing me off.
Times like this are ones that make me wonder, like, did the developers even get the S rank themselves?
You know, I'm starting to think the answer to that is probably not. They probably just put a theoretical time. Unless, like, the missions are something cool, like, this is the developer's best time, and then whoever developed this mission in particular was, like, really good or something.
Okay, so we're dealing with the William P. from Dimps.
More or less, yeah, if that's obviously the case. I don't think it is, but let's pretend it is, you know? Yeah, no, this is... you know it's bad when even I'm the one getting mad, too. So...
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not
getting worse
playing.
And worse, too. That's always a good sign.
The question is, at what point will you pause the recording and then just do it off screen?
Oh, that is 100% going to happen. So, we're 46 minutes in already, and we've only completed one mission.
Alright, when it hits the 50-minute mark, I'm nixing it until you like, because yeah, this is bad.
Like, we have other things we have to record tonight. Like, we really don't have time for this.
Exactly. I bet you the next part's gonna be like a breeze compared to this too.
Oh, come on!
As it always is. Void. I like it when he says void.
Yeah, it's neat.
Especially because you don't get to hear that in the, what's it called? The whatever the other version of the game. The Wii version. I'm looking at this mod video in the meantime. I want to hear what this person talks about when it comes to the sound effect mixing.
Oh, yeah, that thing, right. Okay. Sure.
Curious.
Hear that? I'm just gonna suffer here.
Ooh, they fix it so your ears don't bleed from rail grinding.
I like the rail grinding sound, though. Oh,
I
don't
did
think
too,
I
but
can that mod.
it is very loud. Ooh, and they have a that has a mod where they change the light speed dash to not be on the same button as everything.
Yeah, like, for what it's worth, it was still an improvement over SA1, but yeah, that's aged.
Yeah, it was never good.
Oh, come on! What happened that time?
Oh.
Tell me. What happened?
They also have a fast somersault mod.
Pointless, but neat.
Huh? What? Who?
Huh?
Science? Screw the stage?
Yes.
Again, I'm not even playing it. I hate it.
I now have a built-in fear of Mission 2s now. Oh, come on!
The Mission 2 was really bad for Tropical Resort, but it definitely was not this bad.
It was that Tropical Resort was beatable.
Exactly, that's the thing.
It was hard, but it was beatable. This almost feels like I need to crack out the task bot. Kind of bad.
Seriously. I hate it. Ooh, there's a mod that makes all emeralds trackable.
You know how it should have been in the first place, yeah. Oh, come on! It's always that hot dog spot, too.
I mean, to be fair, that's like the I guess the easiest spot to... I almost said mess things up, but that's not the word I was thinking. Well, I guess, yeah, that is the words I'm thinking of. I'm gonna itch my nose. Itch, itch. So how far are we in this video? Did you pause it yet? Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. I should have paused it. We're 50 minutes in.
Alright, you're pausing it after your next close attempt, which seems to be happening.
Probably going to be this one. Although this one is a little slower. I hate this. I hate it so much. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit, okay? Do one. I got it. We did a different method. I'll show it off because it's a completely different way that we were doing it before.
Substantially easier, too.
It is way better. Like, the way that person was pure flexing. I can't think of another reason they did it that way. Either that or they just didn't know this route.
But even more annoying because the video that they said was, it looked like they were trying to tell you how to do it because it's already problematic. He did it in like two or three. It was like less than 5 attempts for the
Yeah,
record,
it did
guys.
not take long at all. Like, I go down here with the burst, like, grab this. I'm screwing up at whatever. This is just a showcase.
Yeah, and
But yeah, I would go over there. I would blow up here, and that would just make my wisp skyrocket up like 20. You know, just do the rest.
Yeah, exactly. It makes his thing skyrocket to 20. And he got his last 3 wisps right there. Oh, now I see you just want to show it off at this point that you could do it.
Yeah. I mean, I did it. I got the S rank. But
It's true.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like I feel like it doesn't fully count unless I show it off on screen, you know?
It's fair, especially because we figured it out and the way
And
they
like, there's
did
so
it
much flexibility in the time.
Yeah, it's like, look at
When
he's
you
like
aren't-
screwing up and it's not like he's doing it super, like overly precise. So he takes this and then he does an explosion there.
That did not count for some reason.
It's fine, but this is enough.
Yeah, no, this is more than enough.
And then
Or, well,
you
it would have
missed,
been, but
you
for
missed
some reason
one of the
the
float. You missed
Yeah,
one of the
I missed
floating.
the floater. Also, the
enemies.
explosion was off.
Yeah, that too, but that was minor in the long run. The fact that you missed the 3, like one of the spinning badniks was like the big killer. I think the dude in the run that we were watching, for the record, does not even like get the enemy down here. That's why he has just enough wisp power. Look at that, and you've got a little extra wiggle room. So now if you miss one, you're fine.
Like, that was a little slower than my actual tempo, whatever. It's still over 34 seconds easily. So there's my S rank.
Thank you all for watching. In the next part, hopefully we won't have to go through hell and back. If he knew that to begin with, though, this wouldn't have been this long of a video stuck on this mission.
See y'all next time. Goodbye. I'll toast your toast.
Chicken tenders. Bye-bye.